Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your monthly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the month of February 2023. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, okay? So I ask you to connect directly with these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond just what I'm telling you, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have some pretty wonderful Sagittarius energy. This is the Eight of Wands, really a beautiful card. I want to see how you're going to be applying your kind of Sagittarian nature. And you know what? This doesn't happen often. We also have the Art or Temperance card, which rules the sign of Sagittarius. So we have a lot of, really strong Sagittarian energy today. A lot of good fire energy, and now just even more fire here. So let's put all of this into some context. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're going to put that right there, and we're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading, so stick around. And we're going to see how that might tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end, okay? So, this Sagittarius energy. First, we've got this Eight of Wands. This is really a real quickness in your life. There's a real need to get moving fast with you, I think. It feels to me like there is some kind of a plan that you're just about to put into action. I think that you're someone who really does, let's say, not hesitate. Okay, I think you're someone that when you set your mind to it, when you have your plans formulated, when you kind of understand what you're doing and where you're going, you're very quick to get a move on. You know what I mean? You're not someone that second guesses yourself. I feel like you have a very strong intuitive sense. I think you have really good instincts, and I think that those times in your life, you could probably think of many examples that where you tend to go with your gut, go with your instinct, and you don't hesitate, you don't second guess yourself. Things seem to flow a lot better for you than when you might kind of stop in your tracks, rethink things, question your own energies. You know what I mean? That might be when you fall into trouble. I think when you act on kind of on impulse, really, but not in a kind of damaging way. I feel like when you trust yourself, that's when things really happen for you, okay? So you're the type of person that doesn't hesitate, but you still have a lot of planning, a lot of good strategy involved. It's like you do all your thinking beforehand, so that when it comes time to act, you can trust yourself, you can be confident, right? The Eight of Wands here is a very confident card. And I don't know if you could see that on the card, but this card rules Mercury in Sagittarius. So this really to me suggests like your ability to plan and strategize beforehand and execute perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if you're in some sort of a career or you do whatever your work is that you do. Okay, not necessarily for money, but what you kind of commit your time to. It feels to me like it really involves quick execution. Very quick acting, very quick decisions. It's the type of work that hesitation is really not a good quality to have, Feels to me like you really need this kind of quickness about you when it comes to executing, making decisions, putting plans into actions, So I feel like this is a really strong quality in you for this month. I think is really going to require you to activate that mode in yourself. Do all of your thinking beforehand so that when it comes time to act, you can do what needs to be done and not hesitate, not doubt yourself, really. So there's a lot of confidence in this card. Now, what we see kind of crossing your path today is this Art or Temperance card. This is some really strong Sagittarius energy. Is there another Sagittarius in your life that you're very close to? I'm getting an S name associated with this card that could be a major player in your life this month. Okay, but I think what really is going to be the focus of this month is putting this plan into action. I don't know what you've been working on, but it feels to me like you've really been strategizing for a long time. That you have a very well thought out plan that you want to carry out. Okay, could be a good strategy for your career, for work. Could be just a really good set of plans for your future, for what you want to commit your time to. Okay, so I think that you've been working on something kind of in the background. And now this month, it feels like it's really the time to get it underway. You know, I think things are ready. And I think that you can go forward with that. It feels to me like it's some kind of a business deal, a proposal, applying for a job, applying for a promotion, something like that. Just because of the other cards that I'm kind of glancing at here, it gives me the feeling like you're really working on something that's going to take you to the next level. It feels like it's kind of work or career related. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be what you do for money, but it's what you are focusing on, the work that you do, what you commit your time to doing. Okay, so it could be work in the home, it could be in a career or employment. It could be some kind of spiritual work, some kind of creative work. It could be some kind of civil service, you know, something where it takes a lot of kind of split decisions. You have to kind of act on impulse, act on your instincts. And so it's good to strategize everything beforehand. And I think that's right up your alley. I think you're naturally talented at that. And this month is really going to see the need for that kind of decision making, you know. So whatever you've been planning, whatever you've been working on, or, you know, these, whatever this kind of breakthrough, this next level thing is, I think it's ready to be put into action. It's ready to be executed, okay? Let's go to... Gosh, where to even go? There's so much good energy here. Let's go to the Luster Strength card that's right beneath everything. This is your real commitment. This is your real ability to direct your forces, direct your power wherever it needs to go. This is a complete commitment to whatever this work is that you're doing. Whatever you set your mind to, I feel like you really go all in. You really commit to it, and you really... you thrive on the challenge of it, is what it feels like, you know? You set your goals really high, I think. You don't, we set the bar kind of low. Those are easily attainable. I don't think that's you. I think you like to set the bar really high. And even if you fall short, it still feels good because you gave it your all. Tremendous effort. You know, with this Luster Strength card, this is a lot of this kind of Leo energy, right? It's a lot of boldness, a lot of outgoingness. It's a lot of pride in the work that you do. But it's not so much pride in the sense that you want other people to see what you're doing or you want to be noticed. This is the kind of pride that comes with knowing that you put your heart into something, knowing that you are in complete control of your body, of your mind, that you pushed yourself as far as you could. You know, that you were really in control and you gave it everything that you've got. Okay, so I think that this is another good quality that you have. And I feel like this month, for February, I think all of these really tremendous qualities in you are going to kind of, they're going to come to the forefront, but they're also going to be required of you. You know what I mean? So I think that you've been really working on yourself a lot lately. And this is the month where it's really going to pay off. You know, it's really going to be necessary for you to really kind of exert your authority, exert your confidence, and all of these strong and powerful qualities that you have. I think they're going to be required of you. Going to the recent past, Six of Wands, really tremendous card. Again, we have so much of this really strong yet yet calm and balanced energy. Okay, so in the recent past, this is, this is a card that also kind of talks about that Leo energy. Okay. I think in the recent past, there was some kind of an accomplishment something that you achieved recently, that has given you the confidence and the self-assurance and stuff, yeah, but has kind of in some way opened up the opportunity for whatever this current plan is that you're about to, put into action. So I don't know if this was like, I almost feel like you won someone over, or you made kind of the first attainment, the first accomplishment. You've overcome a particular challenge recently. I'm trying to kind of hone in on what this energy feels like, but it feels to me like you kind of there was a struggle, but you overcame. And it could be winning someone. I'm getting this sense like you had to win someone over, or maybe this is the job that you got, and now you're working on this strategy to really advance and excel in this position. Something along those lines. With the Six of Wands, this is a real sense of joining forces almost. This is kind of a card that suggests two people that succeed at the same time. This is kind of a strange one here in your recent past. So maybe we can come back to that after we get through a few more of these cards. Maybe you already know what I'm talking about, but something where you either had to win someone over. I'm getting that sense. Maybe that's the S name person that we're getting with this Art or Temperance card. It could be an S name person that we had to either win over, or we had to somehow like secure their cooperation. But it could be an entity too. Maybe it's not another person. And that would kind of vibe with the rest of these cards, because you know what? There are no court cards here. It's all major arcana, water and fire, honestly. A little bit of earth, So it could be that there was just some entity or organization, something that you had to, gain their cooperation. Okay, could be a person. Maybe it's the S person. Anyway. We'll come back to that if we need to. But the next card is this Ace of Cups. This is really, this shows that you have tremendous focus, tremendous connection with the work that you're doing right now. With this month is really going to be about something that you have your entire heart invested in. Okay, so whatever this work, whatever this project is that you're about to execute, these plans that are going to be put into action, it really is something that you feel very strongly about. It's something that has this really strong emotional connection with you, something that you're just absolutely in love with. I think that you really are that kind of person that will put everything into something, especially when it has this kind of feeling with it, There's nothing that you won't do. This is like really just kind of, bending over backwards, sacrificing anything that needs to be sacrificed for the thing that you love, for the person that you love, for whatever has this emotional meaning, this connection for you. There's nothing that you won't do for it, And I think whatever this plan is, whatever the set of circumstances is that we're talking about, I think it has this emotional meaning, this connection for you. I think it's something tremendously near and dear to you, that it kind of takes priority over anything else in your life. This is your purpose. This really is your purpose, and this is what's kind of motivating you, because this is what you're aspiring to. This is something that's up on that pedestal, and you are worshiping that. It means so much to you that it's like a deity, So I'm very curious what this kind of work is that you're doing. It could be something that is closely related to taking care of other people, because with an Ace of Cups like that, there's a great compassion that comes with it. So it could kind of be like bleeding out into your relationships with other people. So maybe something where you're taking care of other people, or you're helping people in some way. Yeah, it feels to me like your heart is really open. I guess, with this project. And so it could be something where you're connecting with other people through that kind of energy, you know. The immediate future, I think 3 weeks probably, you're going to see this plan really come to fruition, really take form and take shape. It does seem to me like it's something related to a physical project, a physical job, employment, career, maybe an artistic thing, maybe something more charitable or humanitarian, something along those lines. But it's going to be a lot of hard work, but it's going to be something that does involve transactions with other people. Okay, so it's something that may be giving you an income, you know, could be the work that you do for money, but it's something where you're going to be exchanging, you know, goods or services with other people. So it could be like a healthcare thing, could be some kind of a charitable or humanitarian organization, like I said. Because I see a lot of like transactions there, a lot of like giving things out. I see you like handing things to other people. And I don't know if that is, you know, maybe, you know, like I said, volunteering somewhere, you know, something like that. But I think that you're going to be providing to other people. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. But it is going to be a lot of work, and I think it's something that you're going to really be committed to, body, mind, and soul. It's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of hard work, but it's going to be intensely rewarding. And that's why we see this Ace of Cups here. And I promise you, we're getting that overhead camera in just a few days. So you'll be able to see exactly what I'm looking at here. And the way the energy, the way the cards are configured, you know, I think is just as important as the individual cards themselves. Like just the way everything kind of relates to each other. It's really a beautiful thing to see. And I'm really excited for your month. I think this is going to be kind of feels like what you've been waiting for. You know, like you're ready now to begin this work. And again, it might not be something that you're doing for money. Okay, it's not necessarily what pays the bills, but it's what you really feel is your purpose. There's tremendous fulfillment and satisfaction with this work, this project, whatever it is that you're doing, which to me still has this kind of charitable or humanitarian vibe, because I see you giving things to other people, and I don't know what that's about yet. Maybe you can enlighten me a little bit in the comments here. We're going to move to the path of the Serpent now. I want to remind everyone that these tarot cards are always correct. Okay, we never pull the wrong card. But as the interpreter, I can't always associate each of these cards to your particular circumstances. And that's why I ask you to connect directly with the cards themselves. Use your own intuition to go beyond the things that I'm telling you. Okay? Now, we've got some major arcana over here. This is where things start to get a little bit kind of hectic, kind of crazy in your life, okay? Because I think as you move forward with this work that you're doing, there's a lot that starts happening in your life due to this big move that you're making, this big, you know, plan that you're putting into action. Okay. The first card, General Energy, is this Chariot card. I think that it's something that you've been preparing for a long time, like we already talked about. Something that you're absolutely ready for. It's just kind of you're waiting for that last little signal that, okay, now's the time to start now. It's, you know, execute, green light. And I think that's what you're getting in the form of these two, because these are really strong Sagittarius cards. Okay, these are really, if you needed a confirmation about when to begin this work, those two cards are that confirmation. Okay. I think that you're someone that typically sticks with traditional energies, traditional kind of expectations for life, and you know, it could be that your life has been very well thought out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It feels to me like you've been on a particular path, and you're very much you have things very well planned, very well organized. I think you had a lot of expectations of what you want to do in life, when you want to do them, and how they're going to be done. You know, I feel like you've tried to stay on a particular path. Okay, and this Chariot card's giving me that vibe that it may not be a quote-unquote traditional life path, but for you, it's sticking close to a very like almost predetermined trajectory for yourself, okay? Not necessarily what, society says is traditional, but it's really in line with what you've been planning and expecting, I think, for a long time. I think you've always been on a particular road, and it's the road that has heart for you. It's the road that I think you're very much guided by this Ace of Cups, by what direction really has the most meaning, the most satisfaction, the most connection, right? That's the most fulfilling of your purpose. And I think that you've stuck to that. You've stayed on course, I think, quite a bit. Not to say there hasn't been some detours here and there, but I think overall you have a particular trajectory. And what we see now is kind of that trajectory really breaking through to something completely next level for you. Okay, we have this Tower energy. This, I think, is whatever plan you have, whatever this is that you're executing, I think is going to really change things tremendously, especially with the next cards that we have. This could be like the really big climax of your life. You're still on this path that you've adhered to, and this next phase is really one that changes everything. I think it's a major kind of life event, life change. Maybe something that you've always been kind of waiting for this particular time in your life so that you could execute this plan. It could be that you've had this plan for your entire adult life, let's say. And now's the time to execute that. We have this fire energy. We have all the fire energy on the path of the dove, showing that this is really kind of, it's really like an explosive energy. It's really a plan that you're going to execute, and it's just going to move very fast. It's going to cause a lot of changes, a lot of disruption in your life, but this is what you're meant to do. This is your purpose. It could be just something simple like, as soon as, 12 a.m. midnight hits, then you're moving around the world. You're doing a complete 180 from the path that you were on before, but it's all part of your plan, okay? And it may be something where other people don't really understand what you're doing, where you're going, or why, but that doesn't matter to you. From the outside, it may look like chaos and destruction, but for you, this is all part of your path. It's all part of where your arrow, as the Sagittarian, where you are headed, and I don't think anyone can sway you from that. I think that it's going to be a little disruptive, a little chaotic, but that's all part of this transition. That's all part of entering this next phase. So it could be that you're entering in, the next kind of natural phase of your life. It could be that you're going into kind of the post-family years or the retirement years, or it's that time that you've kind of determined is time for the shift in careers or in purpose, or not in purpose, but how you're expressing that, right? How that is being manifested. So that's what I see in the environment. It may look like chaos from the outside, but you know what you're doing. This is well thought out. The next card that we see is an Eight of Cups, and this puts a little bit of a damper on some of this good fire energy, because this is a card that I think has some more sorrowful vibes, I guess. I think that as you move into this transitional period in your life, into this executing this new plan, I think part of the indication or the confirmation for you that it's time to do this was the starting to feel like your cup is half empty rather than half full. You know what I mean? I think you trust your intuition, you trust your emotional connection. Like I said before, you're kind of guided by this sense of meaning and fulfillment and purpose. I think this current or the previous kind of phase of your life has begun to lose its meaning, lose its value to you. you've been feeling a little bit not so connected with whatever this work is that you've been doing in the past. You know, this current/past phase of your life starting to lose a little bit of its emotional force, you know. So I think that's kind of the indication for you where you feel this water energy kind of draining from your circumstances, from your soul, your being, your life. And that's the indication to you that, okay, it's time to now move into, you know, phase 2 or phase 3 of my life plan, right? So this is kind of that little bit of sadness or melancholy. I think it's, you know, you're typically a very optimistic person, glass is half full, very hopeful and connected. But when you start to feel that kind of fizzle a little bit, or that starts to wane, that's when you say, okay, now it's time to execute the next plan, the next phase of this bigger operation, you know? So you really take your cues from your heart, from your soul, from the feeling connection that you have with what you're doing, you know? And I still don't really have much of an idea of what this is. To me, again, it feels kind of charitable or humanitarian, something where you're giving something to other people. And I don't know if that rings a bell. There's also this S name person and this recent victory, either winning them over or securing their cooperation or securing this relationship with some entity, some company, maybe it's the organization, the charitable organization, or whatever it might be. You know, let me know in the comments if you want. You know, this is where my advice to connect with these cards yourself really comes into play, because I don't know your particular circumstances. Probably, you know, there are thousands of possibilities here, you know, so it's not going to be possible for me to narrow it down, but it feels rather giving or charitable in some way. I feel that. Anyway, the last card on the path of the Serpent is this Death card. Okay, not a scary card. You can open your eyes, okay? This is really showing that it's going to be like, I feel like in your life you've had these phases where you kind of live many lifetimes in one life. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain amount of growth and experience, and then it's kind of like a death and rebirth. And now I feel like you're at the doorstep of another kind of metaphoric death and rebirth, you know? And I think all of these other cards too are kind of hinting at the same thing. That's why I say, like, it feels like your trajectory now, you're doing a complete pivot, 180 even. It looks like chaos from the outside, but you know what you're doing. This is you're going through another transformation, another rebirth, you know? And I think this Tower energy and a little bit of this kind of melancholy or depression are just like the birthing pangs of this new phase of your life. You know, could be the 3rd act, 2nd act, whatever, 4th, 5th act. But I really feel like this is something that's kind of common to you. This is how you kind of function. It's part of the overall path that you have. You're sticking to your traditional life. What you've kind of determined for yourself is how you want to live. And you're not going to let anybody change your mind or tell you that the way you are experiencing your life is in any way wrong or incorrect or, you know, should be changed. You know, you're very, very steadfast in your beliefs. And so I do think that this is a larger shift for you. This is one of those transitioning into the next act for you, which I think it's not the first one for you, you know. But let's go to this mystery card. What do you say? We take a look. We take a look at this and see what energy could be lying underneath this. I don't know. I think maybe we would see some more earth energy to show this is all manifesting and organizing and really coming to fruition. Yeah, I don't know what else I would really be expecting but some earth energy. Well, there's the court card that we were missing. An air sign person. Who is the air sign person? Maybe the air sign person is who you've had to secure their cooperation. Maybe this air sign person is the S name that I'm getting. But I don't know if this is a significant other, if this is just the entity or the company that you're working for. I don't know if they're something related to communication or the air or, you know, let me know if this card hits on anything, because this is interesting to get. The only court card in the whole reading comes at the very end as the confirmation card. So whoever this air sign person is in your life, I think that it's important now for you to reach out to them, to, you know, to make sure that you do have their cooperation, or that they're on board with you if this is a significant other or a best friend, family member. If it's your person, whoever's closest to you, make sure that they're still all good with things. You know, I don't know if they're going with you or what the case is, but there's an air sign person in your life, and I think that it's important to reinforce the connection with them. Okay, and I don't know who they are. It could be the person that we're talking about here with this recent victory, recently winning them over to your side or gaining their cooperation. And they may just have an S for their name. The first or last name maybe starts with an S. But it's important to communicate with them. So I would check in with them probably right now and make sure that everything is all good with them, because this card popping up, it's the only court card that we have, so it must be pretty significant. Okay. Anyway, Sagittarius, we're going to do a really quick extended. If you want to watch the extended, click on the link that's right there. This was your monthly tarot reading for February 2023 on Dove and Serpent Tarot.